Hey guys, so as of now, you all know that I'm a scientist at heart, but I have music in my spirit. I am the percussion instructor at Brooks County High School, and I've been in band since I was in the sixth grade. Music just is a part of me, and that is one activity where I feel like I experience flow. And as we learned this week, flow is defined as being in the zone. That's the mental state of operating in which a person is performing activity and being fully immersed and fully just taken over by the activity they're doing. That's when they're happiest. That's when creativity really flows. This is when I'm writing music, when I'm singing music, when I'm playing music. Anything to do with music is when my flow is activated the most. With My responsibilities as the percussion instructor at Brooks County High School is I have to write all the percussion parts. And if you see my process when writing those parts, it's so unique. I can sit down and feel like I've been down for like 10 minutes, and then it'd be 2 hours later. I've written a whole show. And that's how it usually is. When I'm sitting here, I break down the bass drums, I break down the tenor drums, the quints, and then the cymbals. And every piece of music has a special part. Every part is special. Every note is special to me. And even if it's quarter notes, just going down the line, that's special to me. Every piece means something. Um, so that's one activity where I experience flow, and I'm the happiest. My mind, like, I want people to listen to it when I'm finished. I want to share it. I can't wait till the kids get it. And that's what I have in mind when I'm writing is how would this challenge my students? How would they take this and want to play it? Or want to be challenged? Hey, make it harder, Mr. Purnell. And most of them, and that's how it is for the most part. Once we get it, once they get it, you can just see the beam of joy on their face. Like, hey, this is something that's my instructor thought of me while he was writing this, and when I got it, I really got it. So, me writing music, me singing music. I'm also the choir director at Macedonia First Baptist Church, and I write a lot of the songs that we sing, and I direct the choir, and we put it together, and we can go over parts. We be in there. I feel like we've been working for 2 minutes, and they like, Mr. Purnell, like we've been on this for an hour. But I'm so happy. I just want to hear it over and over again. So music is one of the things, is an activity that I experience most of my flow. This week we were given two discussion questions that, they wanted our opinion on and to share with our classmates and things of that nature. And I thought that one of the questions that really stood out to me and said, taking into account the resources for this unit in our discussions and our own experience and observations, what relationships or connections do you see between flow, play, and learning? And throughout my research and throughout just reading through my classmates' uh, sharings and things of that nature, I came up with that flow, play, and learning are all interchangeable and all are closely related. When it comes to play, at an early age, play was essential. It was natural. It was the here and now. We were in the moment. But as we grow older, we start putting too much thought into it. That's when our conscious mind started taking over. And why are we playing? Why aren't we training? How is play gonna help pay the rent? How is play gonna help me get better? But when we're really playing, we lose that consciousness. We start creating in the here and now. Like, time goes by, we're having fun. What does that sound like? Flow. When we're really playing like we're supposed to, we are more readily available to reach or achieve flow. Flow is that state of being fully immersed, being fully focused on that task at hand. Play and learning is inevitable. Whether you're learning a lesson, something you shouldn't do next time, whether you're learning an actual skill, whether you, hey, I need more air when I'm playing that note, Or hey, I need to watch my left hand coming out of that triplet roll. Or hey, this is the pattern that I see in the periodic table. This element is more reactive than this element because of games, because of flow, because of learning. Period. That's the connection that I put to it. It's pretty cool once you really realize kind of what your mind is doing. Like I really never thought about my mind just shutting down or me shutting out the world and just living in the here and now. So that's what I learned. Those are my thoughts on that question this week. I also looked at a article entitled "The Call to Create: Flow Experience in Music and Learning and Teaching," and what I got from it, it says engagement and tasks that requires skills that must improve to meet new challenges. That activates flow. And that's what happens in music. That's what happened in science. That's what happened in math. That's what happened in most of your STEM categories. Even in English and reading and things of that nature. But I focus more on science because I'm a science man. I'm a music man myself. But activating those types of activities that challenge your mind, that makes you think, that makes you work harder to get better. Competition is a big pusher too. Competition is a big motivator to activate your flow. And I think it's an article by author Lori Castadero, and she just says challenges must become increasingly complex. And the article talks about music making and how it's interpreted and how it's created. And it involves a framework evolving from a focus on the function and to just the completeness of music. And when we really just strip everything away and we're in that moment, that's when your best feeling is. That's when your best creation happens. Mihai says, when we experience flow, your concentration is so immense that we aren't worried about any other problems and things of that nature that may be going on in our lives. And if we can take our mind off of things like that, we will generally be healthier and definitely much happier. So while studying flow, I came across a video review by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, and he said that a person can make himself happy or miserable regardless of what has actually happened outside by changing the contents of his consciousness. And just and that's saying most people think that happiness is achieved by the more money you have, the things you have, the stuff you have. But he came to show that flow can make you happy. When your mind is really genuinely immersed in what you're doing, what you're focusing on, what you're creating, that makes you happy. And to me, happiness is such a fragile thing these days. People don't know how to be happy. People don't know what truly being happy is. So that right there really stood out to me, and it's a video on Facebook. I'm gonna put the link below, and it was pretty cool just to come up with, hey, happiness is more than materialistic.